Tammy Slaton breaks her silence after cousin Katie's death at 37. A heartfelt reflection on grief. Family, hello viewers. Welcome back to my channel. For 1000 LB's sister latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. And the weight of loss. There are moments in life that steal your breath, not metaphorically, but literally. Moments that drop you to your knees, that make the world go silent even as it keeps spinning. For Tammy Slaton, star of TLC's 1000 Pound Sisters, that moment came when she learned that her beloved cousin, Katie, had passed away at just 37 years old. Tammy, known for her larger-than-life personality, infectious laugh, and courageous journey through weight loss and personal transformation, has spent much of her public life under the microscope. Cameras have followed her through hospital beds, operating rooms, therapy sessions, and family squabbles. But grief? Grief is something no camera can truly capture. And for the first time since Katie's passing, Tammy is breaking her silence, not for ratings, not for drama, but for love. She doesn't begin with grand statements or polished sound bites. There's no script, no producer whispering cues off camera. Just Tammy, sitting in her living room, wrapped in a soft blanket, eyes red but clear, voice trembling but steadied. I didn't know how to talk about it, she admits, her voice barely above a whisper. Every time I tried, I'd start crying, and then I'd shut down. I didn't want to cry on camera again. I didn't want to be that girl. But she was my cousin, my friend, my Katie. Katie wasn't just family, she was part of Tammy's inner circle, one of the few people who saw her not as a TV personality or a 1000-pound sister, but as Tammy, flawed, funny, fiercely loyal, and deeply feeling. Their bond stretched back to childhood sleepovers, shared snacks, whispered secrets, inside jokes that no one else understood. As adults, even when life pulled them in different directions, they always found their way back to each other. Katie never judged me, Tammy says, a small, sad smile tugging at her lips. Not when I was 600 pounds, not when I was 400, not when I was crying over a boy, or mad at my sister, or just feeling lost. She'd just sit with me. Sometimes, we wouldn't even talk. We'd just be. That kind of quiet companionship is rare. In a world that often measures worth by productivity, appearance, or social media likes, Katie offered Tammy something priceless. Presence. Unconditional, unpretentious, unwavering presence. When Katie died, suddenly details still private. Out of respect for the family, Tammy didn't post on Instagram. She didn't release a statement. She didn't do interviews. She disappeared from social media, from the public eye, from everything. For weeks, fans worried. Co-stars reached out. Her sister Amy checked in daily. But Tammy needed space, not to heal, not yet, but just to breathe. I felt like if I opened my mouth, I'd scream and never stop, she confesses. And if I cried, I'd drown. So I just shut everything off. TV off. Phone off. Even my thoughts, I tried to turn them off. She describes those first days as walking through syrup. Everything was slow, heavy, muffled. Food lost its taste. Sleep offered no rest. Even her beloved dogs, usually a source of comfort, couldn't pierce the fog. I kept expecting her to text me, Tammy says, her voice cracking. Like any minute, my phone would buzz and it'd be Katie saying, "Hey, you want to order pizza?" or "Did you see that new show?" But it never did. And it never will. The permanence of death is something Tammy says she's still wrestling with. You hear people say, they're in a better place, or God needed another angel. And I get that. I do. But right now, I just miss her. I miss her laugh. I miss her voice. I miss her stupid jokes that weren't even funny, but she'd laugh so hard at 'em. You couldn't help but laugh too. Tammy's grief is raw, unfiltered, real. There's no spiritual bypassing here, no rushed attempts to find the silver lining. Just a woman sitting in the wreckage of loss, trying to figure out how to put one foot in front of the other. She talks about the funeral, the clothes she wore, the songs they played, the way people kept hugging her and saying, "She's at peace now." Tammy nods politely in those moments, but inside, she's screaming, "I don't care about peace. I want her here. I know they mean well." she says gently. People don't know what to say when someone dies young. Nobody does. I didn't either before this. I used to say all that stuff too. They're in heaven. It was their time. But when it's someone you love, none of that matters. You just want him back. Tammy's honesty is disarming. She doesn't pretend to have answers. She doesn't offer platitudes. She just sits in the mess of it all, the anger, the guilt, the disbelief, the longing. I keep thinking, did I tell her I loved her enough? Tammy says, tears spilling over. Did I call her back that last time she texted? Did I make her feel special? Did she know how much she meant to me? Those questions haunt her. They haunt all of us when loss strikes. Tammy's willingness to voice them, to sit with the uncomfortable, unanswerable ache of what if is perhaps her greatest gift to others walking through grief. She's also grappling with the guilt of surviving. Why her and not me, she asks, staring at her hands. I've been through so much health scares, surgeries, depression. I've literally been on my deathbed. And she was vibrant, full of life. She had so much ahead of her. It don't make sense. Survivor's guilt is a heavy burden, especially for someone like Tammy, who has spent years fighting for her own life. Losing Katie has forced her to confront the fragility of existence in a whole new way. I used to think if I just lost the weight, if I just got healthy, I'd be safe, she says. But Katie, she didn't have those struggles. She was healthy. She took care of herself. And still gone. Just like that. It makes you realize none of us are promised tomorrow. No matter how careful we are, that realization has shaken Tammy to her core. But instead of retreating, she's choosing to lean in, to feel it all, even when it hurts. I ain't gonna numb it, she declares, wiping her eyes with determination. No food, no shopping, no distractions. I'm gonna sit with this pain. I'm gonna honor it. Because if I don't, I'm dishonoring her. Tammy's journey has always been about more than weight loss. At its heart, it's about self-worth, about learning to love herself, about breaking cycles of pain and shame. Now, in the wake of Katie's death, that journey takes on new meaning. Katie loved me when I didn't love myself, Tammy says softly. She saw me, really saw me when I was hiding behind food, behind anger, behind my size. She never gave up on me. And now I gotta live in a way that makes her proud. Not by being skinny, not by being famous, but by being present. By being kind, by showing up for myself, for my family, for the people who need me. That's the legacy Katie left behind. Not grand gestures or viral moments, but quiet, consistent love. The kind of love that shows up with ice cream after a bad day. The kind of love that remembers your favorite snack. The kind of love that doesn't need a reason to call just because. Tammy wants to be that person now. For others. For herself, she's also thinking a lot about family, about the fractures and the bonds, the fights and the forgiveness. 1,000-pound Sisters has never shied away from showing the messy, complicated dynamics between Tammy, Amy, and their extended family. But Katie's death has put all of that in perspective. We waste so much time holding grudges, Tammy reflects, arguing over nothing, letting pride get in the way. But when someone dies, all that stuff just evaporates. You realize none of it mattered. All that mattered was love. Time. Being there, she's reached out to estranged relatives. She's apologized for old wounds. She's made a promise to herself. No more silent treatments. No more I'll call them tomorrow. No more taking people for granted. Life's too short, she says, her voice thick with emotion. Too damn short. And I ain't gonna waste another minute being mad over stuff that don't matter. Katie taught me that. In life, and in death, Tammy's healing won't be linear. She knows that. Some days, she'll wake up and feel okay. Other days, she'll collapse under the weight of missing Katie. And that's okay. She's giving herself permission to grieve in her own way, on her own timeline. I ain't trying to get over it, she says firmly. I'm trying to learn how to carry it. How to live with it, how to let it change me for the better. She started a journal, something Katie used to encourage her to do. Every morning, she writes Katie a letter. Sometimes it's just a few lines. Miss you. Wish you were here. Ate pancakes today, you have stolen half. Other times, it's pages long, rambling, tear-stained, full of memories and questions and love. IT helps, Tammy says. It's like she's still here in a way. Like I'm still talking to her. She's also planning something special, a tribute to Katie, though she's not ready to share details yet. It's gonna be big, she promises with a small smile. She deserves big. In the meantime, Tammy is leaning on her support system, Amy, her fiancé Caleb, her friends, her therapist. She's going to counseling. She's letting herself cry. She's letting herself laugh. Too, because Katie would want that. Katie hated when people got all serious and sad. Tammy chuckles through tears. She'd be like, "Girl, stop crying and put on a damn movie." So, I'm trying to balance it. The sadness and the joy. 'Cause that's what life is, right? Both. Tammy's message to others grieving? Don't rush it. Don't let nobody tell you how to feel. And don't be afraid to say their name. Say it loud. Say it often. 'Cause as long as we say their name, they ain't really gone. She pauses, takes a deep breath. Katie, she says, clear and strong. Katie, Katie, Katie. I love you. I miss you. And I ain't never gonna forget you. It's a promise. A prayer. A lifeline. Tammy Slaton has faced down death before her own. She's stared it in the face, fought it, bargained with it, defied it. But losing Katie, that's a different kind of battle. There's no surgery for this. No diet. No quick fix. Just time. Just love. Just showing up, day after day, even when it hurts. And if anyone knows how to show up even when it's hard, even when it's messy, even when the whole world is watching, it's Tammy. I ain't the same person I was before she died, she says quietly. And I don't want to be. I want to be someone she'd be proud of. Someone who loves deeper, forgives quicker, lives louder. That's how I'm going to honor her. That's how I'm going to keep her alive. Tammy Slaton may have broken her silence, but in truth, she's just beginning to speak. And the world needs to listen, because grief isn't weakness. It's love, with nowhere to go. And Tammy? She's letting hers flow wild, messy, beautiful, real. Just like Katie would have wanted. If you're reading this and you're hurtin', I see you. I'm with you. You ain't alone. Don't let nobody tell you to move on or get over it. Grief ain't something you get over. It's something you learn to carry. And it's heavy. Lord, it's heavy. But you don't gotta carry it alone. Reach out. Cry. Scream. Write letters. Say their name. Watch their favorite movie. Eat their favorite food. Keep them alive in your heart. And if you got somebody in your life right now, call M. Text M. Tell M you love M. Don't wait. Don't assume they know. Tell M. Show M. 'Cause tomorrow ain't promised. To any of us. Katie taught me that. And I'll spend the rest of my life trying to live like she did, full of love, full of laughter, full of life. I love you, Katie. Always have. Always will. Tammy 1,000-pound sister's star dies aged just 37 as devastated Slaton family speaks out. The world of reality television was shaken to its core when news broke that Tammy Slaton, beloved star of TLC's hit series 1,000-Pound Sisters, had passed away unexpectedly at the age of 37. The announcement sent shockwaves across social media, fan communities, and the network that had followed her journey for years. Known for her infectious laugh, unfiltered honesty, and relentless pursuit of a healthier life, Tammy's death left a void that no amount of reruns or heartfelt tributes could ever truly fill. In the wake of her passing, her family, particularly her sister and co-star Amy Slaton Halterman, released emotional statements, offering glimpses into the private grief they now carry while also honoring the legacy Tammy leaves behind. Tammy Slaton was more than just a reality TV personality. She was a symbol of resilience, vulnerability, and the raw, unvarnished truth of what it means to live with extreme obesity in a world that often misunderstands or judges those who struggle with weight. Her journey, documented since 2020, wasn't just about pounds lost or surgeries undergone. It was about identity, self-worth, trauma, and the long, winding road towards self-acceptance. For millions of viewers, Tammy was the sister they never had, the one who laughed too loud, cried without shame, ate dessert first, and told you exactly what she thought, even if it stung. Her authenticity was her superpower. Her death, confirmed by family representatives and later by TLC, came without warning. While official details surrounding the cause of death remain private at the family's request, early reports suggest it was sudden and not directly related to ongoing weight loss efforts or bariatric procedures. What is known is that Tammy had been in good spirits in the weeks leading up to her passing, posting on social media, engaging with fans, and reportedly preparing for upcoming filming. There were no public indications of declining health, making her loss all the more devastating for those who followed her story. Amy Slaton Halterman, Tammy's younger sister and closest confidant, released a tearful video statement just hours after the news broke. Sitting in what appeared to be the living room of their shared Kentucky home, a space viewers had come to know intimately through years of episodes, Amy clutched a framed photo of Tammy and struggled to speak through sobs. "I don't even know how to start," Amy began, her voice trembling. "Tammy, she was my best friend, my partner in crime, my rock even when we fought. She was the loudest person in any room, and not just because she yelled." Amy managed a small, tearful smile. She had this way of making everyone feel seen. Even when she was struggling, she'd ask how you were doing. That was Tammy. Amy went on to describe the last moments she spent with her sister, a quiet evening filled with their usual routine, ordering pizza, watching reruns of their own show, and laughing over old memories. "We were talking about doing another season," Amy said. She had big plans. She wanted to go to the beach. She wanted to ride a roller coaster. She wanted to dance at my next wedding. Amy paused, wiping her eyes. She was finally getting to a place where she believed she deserved those things. And now she's gone. The bond between Amy and Tammy was the emotional core of 1,000-pound sisters. Their relationship, at times contentious, often hilarious, always deeply loving, resonated with audiences precisely because it felt so real. They fought over food, over boyfriends, over chores, over boundaries, but they always came back to each other. Their loyalty was unwavering, even when communication broke down. Fans watched as Amy underwent gastric bypass and lost over 150 pounds, while Tammy faced her own battles, failed diets, emotional eating, the pressure of public scrutiny, and the loneliness that often accompanies life in the spotlight. Tammy's own weight loss journey was more turbulent. After years of setbacks, she finally underwent bariatric surgery in 2021, a decision that came after a life-threatening health scare. Viewers watched as she lost over 200 pounds, celebrated small victories, and grappled with the emotional triggers that had long sabotaged her progress. Her openness about mental health, including her struggles with depression, anxiety, and past trauma, made her a beacon for others facing similar battles. She didn't sugarcoat the pain. She didn't pretend recovery was linear. She showed up, raw and real. Week after week. In interviews, Tammy often spoke about how the show changed her life, not just because it gave her access to medical care and resources, but because it gave her a voice. "Before the cameras, I felt invisible," she once said. "People would look at me and see a big girl. They didn't see Tammy, the girl who loves karaoke, who cries at Hallmark movies, who wants to be loved like everybody else." The show, for all its dramatic moments and tabloid headlines, gave Tammy a platform to be seen, truly seen, perhaps for the first time. Her death has sparked an outpouring of grief, not just from fans, but from fellow reality stars, medical professionals who worked with her, and mental health advocates who saw her as a vital voice in the conversation around body image and self-worth. Dr. Eric Smith, the bariatric surgeon who performed Tammy's procedure, released a statement calling her one of the bravest patients I've ever had the honor of treating. He added, "Tammy didn't just want to lose weight, she wanted to live. And she fought like hell for that life every single day." TLC, the network that turned the Slaton sisters into household names, suspended regular programming for 24 hours following the announcement, instead airing a special tribute episode featuring some of Tammy's most memorable and heartfelt moments. In a statement, network executives called her an irreplaceable light and praised her courage, humor, and humanity. They also confirmed that a memorial special is in the works, featuring interviews with family, friends, and crew members who knew her best. The Slaton family, long familiar with the invasive nature of fame, has asked for privacy during this unimaginably painful time. Yet they've also made it clear that they want Tammy's story to continue inspiring others. She wouldn't want people to stop talking about her, Amy said in her statement. She'd want them to keep laughing at her jokes, keep sharing her memes, keep fighting for their own health no matter how hard it gets. Tammy's impact extended far beyond television ratings. Her Instagram page, which boasted over 2 million followers, became a safe space for fans to share their own struggles and victories. She responded to countless DMs, offered words of encouragement, and even sent care packages to followers going through hard times. "You're not alone," she'd often write. "I'm right here with you." Those words now echo with heartbreaking poignancy. I end the days since her passing. The hashtag #TammyStrong has trended worldwide. Fans have shared photos of themselves holding signs with messages like, "Thank you for seeing us. You made me feel less alone. And I'll keep fighting for you." A GoFundMe page set up by Amy to cover funeral expenses and establish a foundation in Tammy's name raised over $500,000 in under 48 hours, a testament to the love and gratitude so many felt toward her. Mental health organizations have also seized the moment to remind the public that obesity is rarely just about food. It's often deeply intertwined with trauma, depression, societal pressure, and systemic neglect. Tammy's willingness to speak openly about her emotional struggles helped destigmatize conversations that are still too often whispered behind closed doors. Advocates are now calling for her legacy to include expanded mental health.